You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek, you're
Hey, Derek,
great.
you're great too.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Mike.
great.
You're the
No,
best.
you're
You guys are great. You guys are great.
You guys are super great.
You
You're
guys are
the best.
so
You're the
great.
best.
This feels really good. My
This
name's Mike
does-
Coletta. Welcome to the Hug Life Podcast. I'm with me always is Monica Nevi
Yay.
and my friend Derek Sheen.
Yay, Derek
I'm so happy to
Sheen.
be here.
You're so happy to
I'm
be
so
here,
warm
looking
around
into
you
each
people.
other's eyes, and
Yeah.
this is like a fun table setup. This is nice.
It's
Okay.
weird that you guys are sitting directly across from me and staring right at me. It's very.
This is how it
I
is
mean, I like
every
the
time.
setup.
This
I
is
like
This
the
is how
setup.
it's always
It really
done.
puts me I have to in a defensive mode where I have to remember to be honest.
It's positive energy on
Yeah.
you. All
Positive
on you.
all day. There's a moth. There's moths everywhere. Oh God, I have a door problem, you guys.
I think you have
That
an
it's open?
adorable problem.
Oh, shut the
Oh,
front
God,
door.
You're so good at this podcast. already.
You're crushing this podcast, and it's only a minute in. Okay. All right. Well, this is our podcast. Real quick before some plugs up top. Let's go around and tell our Twitters. Mine's at me Coletta.
Mine's at Derek Sheen.
And I'm at Monica Nevi.
They all are very unique, and they got their names early.
DEREKSHEEN. If you know, because there's so many different spellings for Derek.
Derek Sheen.
Yeah,
Oh,
Derek
Derek,
Sheen.
yeah.
Sheen is pretty obvious.
Sheen.
That's like really easy.
SHEEAN.
E-E-N.
E-E-E.
Just two E's. Just two
Two
E's.
sixties.
Just two E's.
Just two E's.
SHEEHAN.
Sheen machine. It's also he goes by at Papa Squirt on Twitter. Inside jokes on a podcast. Okay. Also, I want to let you guys know. Derek will be on October 11th at the Laugh Riot show. It's his show at the Naked City Brew House.
The
And
best local alt comedy show.
It's fucking
period. And I
awesome.
say alt comedy just because I'm like that. Maybe that'll bring younger people in.
it
please come to this show.
also has some of the coolest posters of any show I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
Barry Blankenship does the posters, and we also always have a rad lineup.
Yeah.
It's fucking sweet. I think the
You'll
next.
be on it soon.
Thank you.
You guys will both be on it.
He looked at you. I'm like, I'm not.
I
gonna be
only
on it.
He
I
asked
only
me once
book
before,
like
and I
3 comics a month.
I
because
saw
I try
that.
to keep it very short, and I leave one set for drop-ins because I want the show to be 90 minutes, and I also want to give the comics time to stretch.
That's perfect too.
Because
It's
they're
a-
all comics I really like that I know have time. So
Wait, you're doing a
Alright.
show that's not rushed and has too many people on it? You're
And I pay
crazy, Derek.
everybody.
What?
What
Yeah.
is this?
This is craziness. So on the show, it's Veronica Heath is headlining. I
Veronica
saw
Heath,
that.
she's my favorite person in
And
the whole
then
world.
David Leone is
Right.
on it.
Leone,
And then you're on it, and Ryan Casey.
Noriko Ott and his
Narika
dad.
Ott?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And
Yeah.
then I believe that Bettina McKelvey's doing something as well. right?
Bettina McKelvey, we just added to the cast, basically.
Oh,
so
sweet.
me and Ryan host it. Ryan and I host it. And then Bettina, because she has this incredible gift that nobody knows about, where she has a collection of the best YouTube videos, but she only curates things that have under like 100 hits, and they've been on there forever, and no one's ever watched them.
That's awesome.
And they're weird and fun. And so we were like, why don't you do like 3 of these a month?
So she scours the internet for you guys?
Yeah, she's got tons of this stuff already bookmarked, like thousands of videos. She just likes to pull stuff up. It's fun for her.
And then she plays them. You're gonna play them there.
Yeah,
at the,
so I burn them
that's
and then we
awesome.
just watch them.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely check out Laugh Riot,
It's a pretty
October
great
11th.
show. It's probably the best show in Seattle.
That's probably,
It's probably
the best.
probably
I think
the
it's
best.
Probably.
The
yeah.
best.
$10. It's $10, but comics get in free.
Oh, so we can go, Monica?
Yes.
Stop charging comics, but we do ask for donation from comics if they have any money.
I don't think I can
Any
go
money
anymore. All right, and also Derek will be featuring at Tacoma Comedy Club on October 16th and 18th for the very funny Ron
Run
Funches.
Funches!
Ron
Yay.
Funches. Who definitely, he lives by the Hug Life mantra.
Oh my God,
Oh,
he is.
yeah.
He literally is just the embodiment of what a hug is at a birthday party. On a Virgin airline, on your way to a place you've never been.
Birthday hugs.
After getting a kiss from a relative you thought was dead, but actually turned out to be alive.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
there's nothing
so
but
go
joy.
check
Just
that out.
nothing
Pure
but
joy.
joy.
Ron Funches hugs bring people
And
back to life.
surprise, yeah.
yeah, that's how good it is.
A little resurrection, Ron. Okay. Now,
He's the Lazarus comic.
the Lazarus. Oh, we're going to get to that later. I have some comic book. Well, I'm going off comic book Lazarus references. There's probably another one that's better.
Oh, okay, all right.
We got
Let's
some
not
stuff
nerd
for-
out yet.
Let's-
though.
oh, we're
Let's-
going to nerd out later hard. And
Cut me out
Monica's
of
going to
this
be
yet.
really
Hold
upset.
on, I like you on the mic. Let's not.
No,
let's
the
not
weirdest
scare
thing about
Monica.
it is when I cut her
Wanna be in the
mics when we
kitchen.
start talking about comic books. Okay. But real quick before we actually, I want to talk about what we've been doing. We all were on the last Comic Standing Showcase at the Parlor Live on
Yes.
Sunday, and it was fun.
It was really a blast. I got in from Salt Lake City, and I'll be honest with you, I really was like too cool for school the whole week. Like, just like I don't want to do this thing, and I always look at competitions like, oh, whatever. Like, I like comedy. I don't like the idea of competing. And then I got there, and I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. Why am I such a dick about things?
Oh yeah, we're all just hanging out with our
Why am I
friends.
such
Right.
a dick? All my friends are here, like, what? This is super great. So I had an amazing time. I had a lot of fun. I got to watch my friends hang out, and a lot of them crushed, and it was just great to be there around them. So
Yeah, the crowd was amazing. Too.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Like 2 sold-out shows on a Sunday
yeah,
night,
it
including
was
a late
amazing.
show Sunday sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Part of Life Seattle. Check it out. It's pretty
Derek
sweet.
did a lot of dancing too. And
I did
out
do
there,
a lot of dancing with Dwayne Goad and
So-
Mike and I, and who else was dancing?
Emmett was dancing
Emmett was
quite
dancing.
a bit.
Everyone dances. That's what you
So
guys. You
many.
missed it. Everyone was dancing at
That's
the
how
last
fun it
comic
was.
standing
There was no
showcase.
choice. You had to dance because they were cranking steakhead music.
You couldn't
The
hear each
entire
other
time.
talk, so you had to
It
dance.
literally, I
That's
was like, oh, what would it be like to do comedy at the Jersey Shore Mansion? I might go a little something like this. Just yelling at your friend, just yelling at your friends, like, how did you do? I had a good set. I had a real good set, I think. I can't. I'm going to go get a drink and then just hide in the bathroom. It's quiet.
Because people keep 3-way kissing around us, and it's really
It's
weird.
pretty great. It's pretty great.
Bunch of guys with barbed wire
pretty good. Let's
tattoos,
just
fist pumping and
dance.
3-way kissing. I always thought that was weird when they did the 3-way kissing on Jersey Shore. Did you guys watch Jersey Shore?
I tried not to.
You did
I
once
watched
on
a train
accident.
wreck. You did once on accident? Well, now I look like the stupid person in
Because
the
I had a
circle.
Jersey Shore
Or-
party at my house once.
You had a party and you had to watch one episode to do research?
I mean, you don't have to watch that show to know what happens there. Like, you could just do a party without ever having to watch that show.
That's
You could just go
essentially
like, you
what
know
it
what,
was.
I can approximate this, and people will be like, yep, I get it. You're doing a Jersey,
Jersey
Shore
Shore show. Everyone
Boobs.
just wear beachwear and act totally normal and polite.
thing. Doing a Jersey Shore thing.
Everyone bring a cooler. Drink cheap domestic beer.
No.
And wear sunscreen. Okay, now it's time for the good news, you guys. These are good news stories that I'm going to tell you, and I want to feel
Oh,
how they
I'm
make you
excited.
feel. Yeah. So the fun thing I've noticed about good news stories, especially on the website I look at, which is just the Huffington Post Good News, because there's no one else. Like all the other websites just forward to that one. They're all involve animals or waitresses getting way bigger tips than they normally get. So the first one is called "Firefighters Save Baby Hamsters with Mini Oxygen Masks."
Why do they have those?
Why do they have those? I have no idea. It's like they took an
have
air tube.
Little hamster oxygen masks all the
Yeah.
time, just in case. You never know.
Wait, this is in Lacey? Is this in Washington?
Probably.
What?
Sounds
It is
about
in
right.
Lacey, Washington. You know why they sell those at the Cabela store? That's where they found the oxygen
Oh.
masks.
Oh
They
my
do?
gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Where you get hunting gear and you can get
Yeah,
oxygen masks.
because
for
after
the
you shoot
animals.
the deer, you got to revive it back to life to shoot it again.
Yeah. If you've seen the movie Powder, it's really about bringing an animal back to life just to enjoy killing it again.
Just the brute.
Just to watch its eyes, just to watch the light go out of its eyes, and then to come back and be like, "Oh, I'm not dead," and then realize, "Oh, I'm dying again." There's just the meat tastes better. I think there's something about
It's
just
the,
the
adrenaline
twice-
that
the-
went back
the
in.
twice
Yeah.
reanimated
You
and
can
re-dead
taste the
meat.
fear twice. Perfect.
They said about saving the hamster family they found in the living room. So that's a lot of work for a hamster. But they didn't explain how they got the breathing apparatuses for it.
What I think is funny is they saved a hamster that only has probably like a 14-month lifespan.
Right. Then it got
So-
sucked up in the vacuum that
Yeah.
same day. So.
Oh, they just said here they use breathing tubes. So they like cut the breathing tube with the mask off and put it up against their
Oh.
noses.
Oh, just put it right
There's
on.
none
And
of
the hamster lived, and then like 2 days later, it had a massive heart attack.
it died.
running on a wheel.
And so much oxygen
Running on a
straight to
wheel.
its brain way too fast.
Lungs
Got all
collapsed.
topsy-turvy. I had a hamster, and then it died. Moving on. Next one.
I think that's what happens to all hamsters.
They died?
They die.
Mine died, and then I left it in the cage for 3 months, and I didn't know it was
Oh my
dead.
God.
I'm not alone then. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
You're
just
not the only
left
one
it-
who did that?
I've done that.
My babysitter, we found the hamster underneath a bed maybe a month later in half. It was cut in half.
Oh no.
I think by the cat.
Dude, I found half a cat when I was working park maintenance one day.
Half a cat.
Yeah, and the
Ugh.
eagles.
Why is it that I bring this out in every podcast? By the
The-
way, it's
the
just
gory
me, isn't it?
half
Well,
animals?
it's like the burgeoning serial killer stories. Like,
We kind of go down holes sometimes, and then we're like, "Wait, positive, come back, come back."
Positive,
We
come
try
back
and bring
to
it
it.
back. It's
like
hard.
'cause you guys are talking like this is my wheelhouse.
Old
You guys are
Derek,
talking
half
about-
carcass
I
Sheen.
I found a half cat near a Dairy Queen.
I just
Which is
cried
weird
into
because
it.
weeks later there was a windowless van that was just abducting children, and then the rest home caught fire a few months later, and we're sure it's the work of a serial killer. So, by the way, I can turn any story positive.
good, perfect.
But then they all hugged each other in the end after they caught the serial
But
killer.
luckily, he didn't make it to the second nursing home. So, silver lining.
There you go. Second, we caught him because of the other half of the cat.
Mhm.
It was found.
Oh, yeah. guys, it always
Luckily, he
becomes a happy
wasn't
ending.
caught, so we didn't have to watch him go through the horrors of the legal system, only to maybe be bounced right back on the street when he wasn't getting the help that he needed for his condition. So, see, positive spin.
Happiness! Happiness reigns true. Okay, another animal story. Curious manatee kept an eye on a stranded pup until help arrived. This puppy was drowning, and a manatee came up and nudged it with its nose to keep it alive. Manatees. God's lifeguards.
That is so wild.
Like,
That is so
crazy.
wild.
and there's a
My mind's
picture
blown.
here, I'll link it in the video, of like an above shot of the dog in the water, and you just see the shadow of this giant manatee behind it, like hulking over it, and you're like, what? Like, it looks like a monster, but it's saving the puppy's life. It's adorable.
That is
That
great.
is so crazy.
Yeah, this is the thing about good news stories, is there's really no jokes on them. They're just really happy. That's all you gotta do.
We're super happy. It makes me happy for nature. It's just too bad people.
People just
People
go around
do
and fuck it up, but they hug each other. Positivity in the end. Okay.
I've always been a fan of manatees, though.
I have
feel
too.
like they've always been good.
I'm kind of obsessed with
I was gonna say
manatees.
good people. They're not people.
I got my girlfriend a manatee stuffed animal, and it's named Hugh Manatee. Like the name Hugh. Isn't that adorable?
Yes.
Again, no
Yeah,
jokes.
it's
just
super
happiness.
original.
No.
Super. Hey guys, so this is the last Hug Life podcast. Derek's taking over. You know, she named it, so it's her fault. Boom, roasted. I just
Hack.
hack. Why's your girlfriend got to be a hack comic from the
What's up
80s?
with that?
Nice manatees puns, hack.
Oh, the humanity.
The next story I have involves a certain celebrity that everyone loves, and if you don't love him, you're an idiot. It's Bryan Cranston.
Oh yeah.
The world's best celebrity. The
Bryan
nicest celebrity.
Bryan Cranston, this kid, he has brain cancer, and his dream was to meet Bryan Cranston. And not only did Bryan Cranston Skype with him for 20 minutes, but they then bought an ice cream truck for the entire hospital to come and give everyone free ice cream.
That guy's the best.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh my gosh, you're like one of the most notorious bad guy, like kind of good anti-hero bad
Aaron
guys.
Paul. Him and Aaron Paul are like the greatest celebrities ever.
They're
Nicest
like
people
the
in the world.
bad guys you wanna love. You know what I mean? Like they're not really bad. Like
Yeah.
you feel like I don't know. I've done plenty of bad things
Well, you know,
for good reasons.
like another thing that happened that was really bad, that Christian Bale, I don't know if it was like a makeup or not, because from the yelling thing he had on the set of Terminator, but after that shooting happened, the one for the Batman movie, he went to the town and like met with everyone and like was like, I'm really sorry, like apologized and being like meeting with everyone on the plane.
Oh, he's rad.
Yeah.
That stupid TMZ video of him yelling at a lighting guy. That guy had it coming.
Oh, I
He
heard he was
super
like,
had it coming. I mean, do you know how hard it is to like? I can only imagine. No, I haven't been on a billion-dollar movie set, but I can imagine what it takes to get mentally prepared to have to go through an action scene and be able to remember your lines and be able to convey that, like, you know, you're tense, you're terrified, you're under pressure 70 times. Right, in a row, having to do the same thing with the same explosions going off, and then having someone consistently fuck with your light,
yeah.
like knowingly fucking with your light, which you know is going to either change the way that you have to emote, or it's going to change the shot, or it's going to oversaturate. To just be like, why are you? You know you're doing that. Why are you doing that? He had every right to scream at that guy because it kept taking him out of the moment.
Well, that's what I think some of the crew were saying that too. Like the guy just wasn't.
The guy got fired.
Yeah,
Because he was an
giving a
idiot.
shit.
And that made Christian Bale look like a dick. But it's like, that's his job, is to like to have to do that over and like if your job it was in a kitchen, just constantly cutting the same piece of celery over and over and over again, you would do the job if you got paid really well. You'd do it. You wouldn't complain about it. But the minute that somebody kept trying to fuck with you while you're doing your job, you would lose your shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
bad enough you have to do this repetitive thing over and over the exact same way every single time.
Yeah,
It's stressful.
it is.
And
Now,
there's millions of dollars on the line. So
millions and how much?
I'm Christian Bale's camp on
Dude.
that, on
Yeah.
that one.
I
That's
just,
good. He's a
we
good
just,
guy.
We just found a button of Derek's. It's the Christian Bale button.
It's the weird
starts
like,
yelling at
false
people.
celebrity outrage thing where people are like, I can't believe that person did that. And I'm like, that Christian Bale thing was so, that made me mad.
It's
'cause that
very
guy's
different than Mel Gibson. Yeah.
No, Mel Gibson is a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Like, every bit of evidence just directly points to that guy being a piece of hot garbage. But Christian Bale is a nice guy. He's a hero. I believe I've never met him, and I don't know anything he's ever done other than Batman. No, he's everything I've ever read.
You
That guy's
believe
a
in Christian
super-
Bale?
I do. I believe I'm a reborn Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Hack.
Boom. Hug life. Humanity.
Great.
This guy though has pretty badass make-a-wishes. The guy with brain cancer. His two big make-a-wishes goals were driving a 1967 Mustang and swimming with
Ooh.
sharks.
Oh my god.
It's pretty badass make-a-wish
And
goals.
wait, and he met Bryan Cranston.
And he
same
met
guy?
Bryan Cranston.
Jeez.
He's like, fuck Disneyland, which is the way it should be.
How long is this kid gonna have brain cancer that we have to keep paying for this shit?
But my tax
This is
dollars are
getting
going to work
crazy.
right now. This is bullshit.
Hey, kid, you got brain cancer. Why don't you slow down on the wishes for a minute?
Other kids have wishes too.
Break
I mean,
off.
you're not going to be around long enough to share these memories with everybody. Why don't you chill out?
You can get your 20-minute Skype session,
Yeah.
and you can
And then
get out
that's
of here.
good, okay? 'Cause really, it's not like 30 years from now you're going to have pictures of this you can share with your kids, okay? You're going to be dead soon. Hug life.
Hug life. You're going to be dead soon. Hug life.
Well, I mean, the positive spin is that he won't be suffering.
That's
entire
right, 'cause
time.
he'll be
He'll
dead.
The suffering will be
You know, when
shut
this show
down.
started, we thought about taking these news stories that were just normal ones and trying to make them positive, and then we realized how insensitive it sounds. Like,
I don't know, like I could make Ebola was in, they found the first Ebola case in Texas, you know?
yeah.
But the good news is the CDC says they don't think it's going to spread anywhere. See, good news.
Good news.
You could get terrified about Ebola being in Texas, but also the other good news, it's in Texas.
And no one cares about Texas. Hug life.
And they want to secede anyway, so now we can just say that Mexico has Ebola.
It'll be like it'll be a quarantine zone, like Doomsday, like that movie
Yeah,
Doomsday
it'd be great.
that everyone loved.
Have fun at South by Southwest, bleeding out of your eyes and rectum.
Hug life.
Help live.
Okay, this next one.
Hey guys, Black Keys are playing at South by Southwest. You know who else? Everybody Screaming and Bleeding is playing at Southwest. Everybody.
They're playing their last show there.
The
That's it.
sound
It's the end.
of the sound of bowels tearing like bed sheets. We'll be playing South by Southwest.
It's their new album.
Rip. This next one. Reporter spots missing boy while covering child's disappearance and reunites him with his family.
He finds him.
So yeah, he's like doing a story on this missing kid in Tampa Bay, Florida. Of
Who
course,
turned
it's
out to
Florida.
be working for the network and,
And,
was a camera, and was a
yeah.
camera guy.
He's like,
Did
hey,
anybody
are you
try
my
and
key
look?
grip?
Like-
Get over here, you key grip.
He's been gone, but nobody's looked for him at all, though. Oh, shit, there he is. Never mind.
We found him, and the boy was just like, I just want. And then the excuse the boy says is, I didn't want to hang out with my little brother Paul anymore. That's why he walked away.
And see that? I mean, that's positive. You got to better yourself. If someone else is bringing you down, you separate.
That kid doesn't have the foresight to understand that whenever he brings a girl or a boyfriend over later on in life, his brother Paul is going to pop that on a computer
Every
or on a TV
time.
and play it over and over again and go,
Because
"Here's
clearly
something you
Paul's
should know."
already a dick. So
Fucking
Paul is
Paul.
going to fucking pull the rug out from under that kid for the rest of his life.
Did you guys try to run away when you were little? Like really little kids?
yeah,
I tried a lot, but I'd always announce I was running away and then come back at dinner. like, it gets boring.
my parents still tell the story. My mom was at a conference in Las Vegas, and I was not good at being away from my mom, and so I tried to rollerblade to Las Vegas. I said, I'm going.
You rollerbladed?
I
How far
roller.
did you go?
Maybe 6 blocks. And my dad was really worried, though. He's like driving around in the truck trying to find me, and I
Run,
had
Nevy.
stopped at like 6 blocks probably. I had stopped, and I was like, should I go? I don't know. Vegas is right down this road. I don't know. And that's when he found me, and I got in the car. Then I
Dude.
cried.
Yeah, I did the same thing in Alaska. I ran away. I'm like, I'm running away. And my mom's like, okay, because she knew I'd just like come back. And I walked to the top of the hill, and the ice cream truck was there, and I had no money. And then I walked back. I was like, oh, man, that adventure was over. Quick
It's
to
so
find.
funny. Like, I was 9 and I packed some bags and I ran away.
And he never, wait, and hug life.
And then this news lady was looking, and she just found you.
I got a job and faked my age, got a job in a kitchen, and got my own apartment when I was 12. And people just didn't know because I was a good reader. So
You just worked your way up from there?
yeah, plus I could grow facial hair.
I was
with
gonna
kids.
say facial hair.
Anyways, I mean,
At
it
9.
doesn't, you know, I mean,
It's
I,
nice.
You know,
yeah.
silly
It's not
kids
a big
or
deal,
whatever.
guys. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal. I mean, it's not.
Children
It's
are
only,
always funny.
it's only a small part of his life. It's not. It doesn't mean that much.
I
It's
know,
fine.
it's funny.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The other story I have, the last good news story, is this server at a restaurant, got 150% tip, and then the note said, "My husband and I have both been there." Like they were both servers before, and they were paying it forward. That's a
Oh,
good.
that's nice.
Yeah, I hate it when people fucking don't tip at all. Like,
Didn't
or
they say the service wasn't great either?
They're like,
Because I think the story said that.
did you
this-
read the story?
Yeah, that they said the service wasn't great either, but they still tipped 1,000% on it.
Dude, 1,000%
They
on
wrote
it.
some
Yeah.
some notes for
It's a $66 tab, and they put like $1,000. It was their tip.
What?
Yeah.
Are you making this up?
No, paid it forward.
Don't you have it?
No. That's the thing. Is this was one that I just put the headline on because I read the news story. I was like, there was no story. So
Yeah.
this is you found a better good news story than the one I found.
It's the same story.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just read it. It's on Huffington Post.
Oh, God damn it! I should have told before I bought this.
It's on Huffington Post.
Guys,
Yeah,
damn.
they did $1,000, and then they wrote in the margin of the check that we've been there, and
That's
but
so
then when
sad.
they were asked about it, they were like, "Well, the service was that great, but they seemed very nice, so we figured we'd pay it forward."
Would have given
That's-
2,000 if it was
If
better
it was a great
service.
service, then he's like, God damn it! So the last one we read about this was like this guy leaves a $10,000 tip for a woman,
Mhm.
and she like split it. That was the girl with the lady with the medical bills or
Right.
something like
I
that.
thought that one was 1,000 also.
Is it 1,000?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm making it
he's
up.
Given $10,000
I'm
tip.
giving up.
Pretty sure it was
He got up to
1,000.
$20,000 tip on a $10 bill,
I
and
wonder now, at the end of the day, if the employer, the owner of the restaurant, doesn't try to get their foot in
Tax?
there, doesn't
Right.
try to get their foot in there and be like, you wouldn't get that if you weren't working. We should probably get about 40% of that, shouldn't we? I mean, it's not my restaurant.
this is Red Robin, sir.
Yeah.
You need to get something.
I guarantee the restaurant owner is probably trying to get his foot in his hand in that cookie jar.
I'm
Hey guys,
sure.
you've heard it first, okay? Derek Sheen, pro Christian Bale, anti restaurant owner. Okay,
I just think everybody's it's capitalism.
it's capitalism, man.
You get a $1,000 tip. I'm sure that someone's like, hey, yeah, you're not taking that whole thing, right?
It belongs to
You're
me.
gonna- it's our restaurant, so.
Okay, this is the very important part of the podcast. This is our first segment we've ever done like this, and that is the feel good movie review. Da-da-da, feel good movie review. I don't know how to put sounds on the board yet, Derek.
You're doing fine.
Okay, good. And so we're gonna do the quintessential.
You can do it when you edit it. You can put them in when you edit the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either. So
You have garage. You don't have garage.
no, I'm using a netbook from 7 years ago. So.
Yeah. Let's not.
Oh
worry
wait,
about
let's
that
not
then.
give away the studio production value we
Thanks.
have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to
production.
sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna just sing it anyway. But the feel good movie we're gonna do is Forrest Gump, because I think it's like the quintessential feel good movie. Like it was designed to be that way, and I remember watching it as a kid, being like, "This is such a cool movie." But I want to know your guys' thoughts on it. Like, what do you think? Do you like Forrest Gump? Do you not like it? It's fine. It's a review. You can critique it.
I think it's incredibly hip to not like Forrest Gump right now.
I've heard that.
But I still think it's an amazing movie. I think those people are dicks, and they just want to hate something because it's easy to hate something that's really good.
Yeah.
And Forrest Gump's awesome.
Because that was my thing.
I mean, some of the special effects don't hold up, and it can get a little corny in places. But you know what? The whole thing isn't. It's about someone. I think that Forrest Gump represents sort of the heart of Middle America. The dreamer. The Christian simpleton who that we all look at and we make fun of, and we realize that person has had all this. We don't realize how many experiences they've had, how rich their life is, and when his girl, when he has the girl he's in love with,
Jenny.
Jenny she's a representation of the city. She's a representation of all the things that a simple good life is always up against, and you see how that turns out for her. That it's a very scary place. It's very loud. It doesn't, so I
You
think,
get AIDS.
well, and you also get AIDS, but they don't mention it. But it is AIDS, and
Yeah, that's right.
It's really, it's
When I was a kid, I was like, "What did
but
she die
they
from?"
always. But that thing is that when there's always a sense of openness and forgiveness and the thing I love about Forrest Gump is he doesn't know that he's overcoming anything. He doesn't understand that he's overcoming anything. He's just doing what comes naturally, which is trying to constantly be a good person. That's like, how is that not a good lesson? To just try and be a good person.
You're right, all the time. And he works so hard.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
And
like
when
he just
shit
works
goes
the ping
sour,
pong thing. Oh my
When
god.
shit goes sour for that guy, he doesn't take it out on anybody. He just goes and runs away. Like, he just runs. He runs for what?
And then
a
Bob
year?
Seger plays. Yeah.
He runs for like an entire year.
He grows a beard.
Yeah.
And
He just
Mhm.
takes off, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, this is the only way I'm going to be able to deal with this is to just be in my head because I don't want to take it out on anybody else.
It's funny that you mentioned the bad reviews, about it because I went on Amazon today to look at like the reviews, be curious, and people were like, "This is just the fucking generation jacking themselves off." like that's what people said. They're like,
Yeah.
"This fucking generation just keeps talking about how cool they are, and it's bullshit, man." And
What
like,
generation?
yeah, I'm like, what
Right.
are you
Who
talking
was-
about? I
The
guess like,
60s when
yeah,
I mean
the-
his best friend is a fucking Vietnam vet who loses his legs and is saved in the end just by pure love. It's
yeah,
the thing that actually turns him around from being a complete piece of garbage.
and metal legs.
yeah, and metal legs.
Lieutenant Dan, you got
Which-
new legs.
I mean, let's be honest. The money did kind of fix that.
Yeah,
But-
that sweet shrimp money.
Yeah.
So much.
But I think it's the fact that he found a friend because he was included in something. He always
no doubt.
rallied against everything, and what made Lieutenant Dan such a special character is that this is a guy who didn't. He wanted that. He wanted a relationship. He wanted a friendship, but he was so fucking scared of everything because he didn't want to let anybody know how much pain he was in. It destroyed his world losing his legs, and did not want to let anybody know how much pain he was actually in inside. And when he realized Forrest didn't give a shit about anything, he's going to be his friend no matter what. It was much easier for him to let go. And I think once he did that, he became a very, he broke that archetype of being, the gruff, the gruff but lovable character, and just became a very strong character. There were so many ways they could have made Lieutenant Dan a squishy piece of garbage at the end, and he actually was still a fucking roughneck. But he found that he could be open and loving and caring and not give a shit about people judging him for it.
And then he joined CSI New York,
Mhm.
so it all worked out in the end.
He's also, in real life, Gary Sinise is a hardcore conservative piece of shit. I hope that God sends a bolt of lightning that fists him from the ass to his mouth, splits him like fucking kindling in front of his kids.
It's a great character, though. Great
Yeah,
character.
but a
Great character, great character. Character's beautiful.
That's the key to, a good actor can take a piece like that, even if they're a piece of shit, and make you believe in that character. He really goes all out, and you don't look at Gary Sinise as Gary Sinise. You see him as Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, you know what I hope? I hope there's some kid right now that just Googled Forrest Gump and he got this podcast because he's writing a paper on it and he just wrote everything you just said down.
I hope
Just
so.
like, fuck Cliff Notes, this Derek guy's great. Jenny represents the city.
That's
She represents progress.
She
She
represents
represents 20th century Western progress, and Forrest Gump represents, I think early 20th century values, and those two things clash.
Right.
But it's just the baby boomer generation jacking themselves off.
Well,
That's
and
what we
how
learned.
to integrate those two things, though. You know what I mean? You don't want to
They
lose
have
being
to.
a good person, but he still wants to be with Jenny. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
the
Like,
world's
he's
always going to grow and change, and you just have to learn to change with it. But you don't have to lose your values to do that.
right. God.
You know,
Well, I just got a little tingly.
You got a little
I
tingly?
feel good right there.
Guys,
Turned
I
down
think,
for what?
I think that's turned down for Hug Life. I'm just going to keep saying Hug Life. I think it's positive. It feels nice. This feels good. This feels good. We're going to keep doing this segment. I like
Good
it.
segment.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I really
I'm trying to
like
think of
that
another good, like, I've never seen The Notebook. That's supposedly a feel-good movie. Do
Is
you
it
think it's a feel-good
feel-good?
movie? Have you
Well-
seen it? I've never seen it.
Yes, I've seen it.
I think it's a little manipulative.
It is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it?
really. I don't think it's a feel-good movie. I think it's like a. It's still a romantic.
You know what you
drama.
just did? You just saved me from watching The Notebook for this podcast.
You've
You've
I
I
never
thank
seen,
you.
I think you should watch it just so
Yeah,
that
you should. You should have it in
every
your
hacky
wheelhouse.
joke you hear for the rest of your life, you know
Yep.
where
I
it
know.
came from.
My favorite line from Forrest Gump was when he said, "I'm sorry, I ruined your guys' Black Panther party." That's my favorite line
My
from the
favorite
entire.
is when he's breathing really hard and he's like, "That's my boat."
Like in the boat goes by, he's like, "That's my boat."
That's my boat.
We do that to each other all the time.
Yeah.
The movie's really good, and the best part is it's one of those movies where it's always on TV, and I just watch it every time I just see it on
Right.
TV, no
I
matter
get
where it's
excited.
at. I get super into
I
it.
could watch it once and it'd come on again, and I'd get excited. It's on again.
I actually think my least favorite line on the whole thing is that chocolates thing that everyone quotes all the time. The box of
It's
chocolate.
just- it's such a throwaway line that But
It's just a good marketing line too.
Yeah.
You never know what you. I feel like sometimes there's like a key in a box of chocolates that tells you what each chocolate
Like you
is.
bite into the chocolate.
Yeah, I
and
don't
there's a
think
metal
you
key
never
into
you
it.
never know what you're gonna get unless you're just buying them. Like you're telling them just put random chocolates in a box. If it's a Whitman sampler, you're gonna know what the fuck you're
Right,
getting. There's a
exactly.
goddamn key,
There's
right?
a
And
key right
it
there. It
falls out of
says
the
it.
box top, and you just go, oh, that's lemon cream, and that's cherry surprise.
Right,
and
and you know not to
yeah.
eat the fucking cherry one, and
Yeah.
so you don't. That's like
Cherry one's the
yeah. So in retrospect, that is actually an asshole line.
It's the worst.
'Cause
And Forrest Gump's mom did not know how to read a chocolates box.
apparently she didn't. Yeah, that's one of Forrest's things is just not examining the fucking contents of a chocolate box. Like that's where it stopped for him. Like,
One thing that always weirded me out about the movie, though, is how in the beginning it's like, "Hey, your ancestors were in the Ku Klux Klan," and then they just brush over it and walk away. Like,
well, he lives in the South.
Yeah.
Everybody's ancestors were in the Ku Klux Klan during that time. Everybody in Georgia and everybody in Tennessee. I mean,
Alabama.
Alabama. They were all kind of, not everybody was in the Klan, but I mean, that was a big thing. It was like I would say at the turn of the century, it was like the Kiwanis Club.
it was
It
just
really
like,
was. I
just
mean, it
like
was
the Elks Lodge,
Yeah,
except
guys
you wear
just
bed
went
sheets.
down and hung out, and they
'Cause
didn't always
you-
wear bed sheets, but
You go to the South a lot and tour around, and it's pretty awesome. I like the way, cause I always ask you about it, because I want to know if it's like
I
a
love it
stereotype.
out there. I mean, I like to go. Here's the thing. I'm a big lib, but I also don't have that weird thing in my head where I'm like, fuck Republicans. I hate them all. I don't get that. It's not your ideology doesn't make or break you as a person. If that was the case, I would be held to account for everything I've ever believed in. You're an evolving person, your ideas can always change and evolve. I like to go to a place where not everybody agrees with what I think, because I think it's such a pussy move to just write hardcore liberal shit and just do it in front of a hardcore liberal audience. Like, you're
I agree.
just preaching to the goddamn choir, and yes, they will appreciate you, but they're only appreciating you because they agree with you. Who fucking cares? I want to go someplace where, you know what? The challenge is in me presenting an idea that may not be popular and trying to find a way to get people to not get upset and not get mad, but to listen. And also at the end of the night, to still walk away and go, yeah, I may agree or disagree with what you said, but it made me laugh. I would rather make people laugh at that stuff and still, hide the fucking medicine in something sweet.
Yeah.
And hopefully it changes in that way. I don't like doing that stuff where you just go to a liberal audience and just go like, I'm with you, right? Everybody, you guys,
Yeah.
what's up with this thing and this thing we all agree with? And everybody's like, I love that guy. Of course, yeah, because you're not doing anything. But if you go and do that in the South, they're gonna fucking nail you to a board because you're just ranting. Then why not just talk to people? Why do you have to talk at people?
Exactly.
So I like to go there because it makes me work harder as a liberal to come up with ways to sell these ideas. Where I don't like political humor that I don't know if I talked to you about this or not one time, but I don't like comedians that beat you over the head with their message.
Yeah.
I don't like being pummeled with something, especially if you're in a room full of people who agree with you. Then you're just being a loud dick. Take it down a notch. We all agree with you.
Yeah.
That's why we're all here. But I don't like being talked at. I hate that. You're not smarter than me.
Yeah, especially if they don't do it in a way that's like interesting or twisting you around. Like the funniest comedians that I do that do political stuff, like guys like Augie Smith, they twist you into it, and it's entertaining. It's not just like we're throwing. And also, he'll start in reverse and then move back towards the point.
Right.
Which
But he's also not afraid to. The thing I love about Augie is Augie's not afraid to push people's buttons to get a reaction out of them, because that's the first way you're going to break through a point of view. Because people are very, very people wrap themselves in their beliefs very tightly. And sometimes I think that can be dangerous for you. You have to be willing to be open to new experiences and change and evolve your thinking all the time. I mean, everybody. I mean, Jesus did that, for crying out loud. If you're going to be if you're going to be a Christian, you have to do that. You have to be willing to evolve your thinking. Nobody pumped Jesus full of knowledge, and he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to believe what you guys said and just go out and preach that. I mean, that guy was constantly pushing the boundaries of this is all bullshit. And I love that because guess what? That guy also went to audiences that fucking didn't want to hear what he was saying.
At all.
He didn't just go preach to Jews. You guys know what's up, right?
Now I can only picture Jesus as like a hacky 80s comic.
Oh, I always have.
His robe rolled up to his elbows, like, here we go. We're doing it.
Always. He's popped his robe. He's popped his robe collar a little bit.
Guys, you know what I'm saying about this stuff?
I only use Jesus because, I know in the South, there religion is going to church, and religion is not a philosophy. It's much more of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, people don't even really know all about the covenant or the scriptures or anything, but they just get embedded in the culture of it. And so it's very important to them that you don't fuck with that thing. They're the first ones that are like, that's blasphemy. Like,
Yeah.
We're not
Right.
blaspheming.
No, I was actually just.
So-
That's funny you say that because I was actually just driving with my girlfriend today. I live really close to this church. There's a church like on the corner. It's really close, and it's packed on Sundays. They have to bus people in because there's not enough parking. And I was driving through there, and I'm like, why do people still go to this? And like, yeah, it's a cultural thing. It's like this is where they meet people. It's not necessarily
it's very
about.
much about fellowship.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about making friends and like doing fun activities and not sitting alone in your house. I love sitting alone in my house.
Right,
By the
because
way,
as many
though.
times it's the same. It's the same book. They're teaching the same stuff, but they're just going for the experience to meet people, be with people.
It's part of that community. I
Yeah.
mean, community is very, very healthy. We don't have that as much as we used to. How many people know their neighbors anymore? Like, I think that was a good thing about church, but also, it
There's bad things. Yeah.
It wears after a while. The dogma gets very tiring, and I've been doing this. I just did it when I was in Knoxville, and it really freaked people out. But I was talking about I don't know how to approach it, but I'm talking about how, like, if I was a Christian, because I'm not, I'm an atheist, but I love the idea, I love the concept of faith. I love it. I think it's very healthy for people to have that. And you know what? I could be wrong. So, I don't believe in that I'm right or anybody else is right. I like the idea that there could be something that's very beneficial for people in that. But if I were a Christian, I would be the kind of Christian that actually did what Christ did. I would be that kind of Christian who said things like, man, I hope Hitler made it to heaven. Sure hope Hitler recanted at the last minute, made it to heaven. I sure hope Ted Bundy and Pol Pot and John Wayne Gacy, I sure hope they're all in heaven. And that fucking pissed people off.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like, like when I said I hope Hitler's in heaven, one guy was like, fucking bullshit. And I'm like, well, if you're a Christian,
Yeah.
you should be willing to forgive even Hitler. Like, I'm sure God can easily forgive. It's one of God's creatures. God made him, So I'm sure at the last minute, if he was going to put that gun in his mouth and be like, oh, I was a terrible guy. Good. I hope so. I hope so that he was like able to recant and go to heaven. Man, does that piss people off? Because I don't like, if you're going to be Christ-like, then fucking have forgiveness and be willing to not be vengeful. That's not how you get anything done. I hope that guy goes to hell. What are you saying?
Yeah.
I don't hope that for any. It sounds like a terrible place.
Sounds horrific.
For eternity? That's shitty. Even for an evil dictator, I'm like, Jesus, I sure hope that he finds love in his life at some point. At the end of his life, he's like, oh my God, I realize I've been a terrible person. And then he goes through the gates of heaven and he's like, I gotta say sorry to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I gotta recant.
You're gonna be busy.
I love that idea.
And
Christians
people don't
like that.
People
idea.
don't like that idea at all.
They
No.
get real angry.
By the way, I have no idea how we got back on this topic. Do you guys remember?
What's that?
The church topic. I have no idea how we got
I have
here.
no
guys.
idea. Did we start
Forrest
there?
Gump.
Forrest Gump. Guys, it all starts with That's what we're saying. Forrest Gump is just leading into Jesus. We're all
Oh,
just
man.
feathers in the wind, you guys.
Yeah,
And also waiting at bus stops to drop our kids off.
you know what I mean.
If you know what I'm saying. That bus is my dick. Okay.
Hugs.
So now we've done that. That's a good segment. We need to think of other feel-good movies, Monica. I'm leaving that as your mission.
Okay.
All right. You feel
I'll ask Pam.
Yes. Pam Nettie.
Monica, hey, do that, okay?
Hey,
That's
Monica.
your thing now.
Monica, take care of the thing I need you to do.
Research
Hey,
and
that's your thing
development.
now.
So here's the thing:
Department.
is we're gonna come up to our quiz section right now. Did you get the message I sent you with the quizzes?
I am pulling them up
Okay.
right now. I have
So
the
we
quizzes available
actually
to me.
have 3 quizzes today. I picked 3 because, and we get to choose which ones we do. One of them is what superpower you would have. Comic books. There you go. See, I'm bringing it forward again. And then the other one is what X-Men you should hook up with. Like which one, if you had to
Just
pick.
hook up with.
Just hook
You
up
wouldn't
with
be your
though.
boyfriend
You wouldn't
or
be your boyfriend or girlfriend.
No.
Okay, and I'm not going to take the quiz because I already did it. I did that one, and I already did the 90s game show one, which is the next quiz, which is which 90s game show would you dominate at? So I feel like we should take the 90s game show one because that one's fun. I love
Okay.
90s game shows.
I'm
Legends of the Hidden
typing
Temple's
on
the
it
shit.
right now.
We got that one up.
I was actually really bummed that my answer was not Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I love that show so
It's
much.
so fucking good.
It's one of my favorite.
I was so
games.
scared. I was
Well,
so scared
What's your
watching
favorite?
them
What's
go
your
through the
favorite game
temple.
shows? Like which ones do you like the most?
to.
So any game show you've ever watched? What's your favorites?
I'm a fan of
Legends of
Family
the-
Feud.
Family Feud.
Love Family Feud. Anything that I can answer and try and like beat
I-
people in the room
I
with.
loved watching Match Game just because it was so. There was no prize and nobody ever won. It was just watching like I would say like the end of the golden era celebrities, like TV and Vegas celebrities just fucking getting hammered on TV and saying dirty shit to each other, and it was right at that like swinging singles era of like 70 to 75, and that show I could still watch reruns of that show because it's so goddamn funny.
Oh yeah, I was so into Hollywood Squares.
Oh,
Like
God,
I was obsessed.
loved
I was
Hollywood
like,
Squares.
I don't know why everyone keeps making fun of this Bruce Valanche guy. I love him. I have no idea.
Bruce Valanche is great.
I have no
loved
idea
him.
why though, but I'm like, because I've heard all this shit about it. I'm like, yeah, I
That
love
show's
it.
the only reason I know who he is.
Yeah, I don't
like,
know him
there's
from
like a
anything else.
thing on Netflix now, his documentary or whatever, and I was like, oh my
He's
God, Bruce Valanche. I haven't
amazing.
like heard anything
Like,
about
who
him.
is Bruce Valanche?
He was him, and I loved Whoopi on that.
Oh, Whoopi
on
was
that
great
show
on that
too.
show.
They
Still
were
great.
great.
I loved.
But
Bruce
yeah,
Valanche.
I saw this.
Gene Rayburn had the biggest penis in Hollywood at one point. Host of Match Game.
How did you know he had
He
the
was
biggest
this-
penis?
yeah.
Because his wife was always on Match Game, and
She
when he
talked about
died,
it?
she talked about it.
She talked about his
yeah, 'cause
penis.
somebody asked him. I think somebody asked her, like Mike Douglas or somebody had brought up the just the rumor, like everybody knew about Gene, and she's like, and she said, but she didn't say penis on TV, but she was like, it was huge. It was giant.
like,
It
tore
should have
me
been.
apart.
It should have been in a museum.
Oh God.
And you know what I
It
hope
could
if
be
I
now.
die, someone just talks about my penis in a good way.
God, I hope nobody talks
that's
about
all
my
we
penis
want.
at all.
Mine either. Jesus,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really hope
well,
no
real-
one talks about my
Real
penis.
shame he took that muscle relaxer and drank that scotch and hung himself from a ceiling fan. But I mean, when we found his body, we understood why.
Look at that peener.
That's a real challenge to have to live with that day after day, trying to act like a real man.
Like
'Cause
a
that's what a
ring.
man would say. Yeah, he wasn't a real man. I mean, that's probably what was killing him. conflicted.
Just kidding.
So here's what we're all gonna take the quiz together. Okay. So we all have it up. You gotta scroll down to the first question, which is pick some totally cool slang. Cool, Kewl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important. And the options are as if, you're bugging, take a chill pill, you're so cool, not, and stop hanging with scrubs, and then booyah. Those are 90s slang, apparently. So you got to pick one of those. Which one did you pick, Derek?
I chose as if.
You chose as
'cause I
if?
still use that.
I think I chose you're bugging when I did it, but I kind of like stop hanging with scrubs. So I'm going to pick stop hanging with Is that what you're picking?
No,
I'm going to pick stop hanging with scrubs.
I'm having a tough time. I don't know. You're so cool. Not. I feel like that.
That's very much you.
I
That's
was
very
pretty
sarcastic.
sassy.
You're
That
super.
is the 90s.
in
Yeah.
like the 5th grade.
That's so you picked you're so cool not.
Yes.
All right, and now this is my favorite question they have is pick your favorite '90s video game or go-to video game, and they're all like almost all Nintendo games except for one. Well, they were all on 64, I guess, but
Right.
Super Mario 64.
Except for Pokemon.
Oh yeah, it was on GameCube. Legend of and a bunch of Banjo-Kazooie was on PS2.
They
PlayStation
had,
1.
no, they had a
Banjo-Kazooie they had on
Banjo-Kazooie.
64.
They did.
Yeah.
Was it multiplat?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nerd talk. Okay,
Ugh.
Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which is actually a Game
It's a
Boy
great
game. It's an awesome Game
That's
Boy
the
game.
ultimate Zelda, I think, at that time.
Yeah, that's where
Because
you
it
watch it on the
took it to
shore.
The next level.
Oh, it was fucking sweet.
Mhm.
Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Special Pikachu Edition, Star Fox 64, and
Spent So
GoldenEye.
much time on Star Fox 64.
Star
I love
Fox?
that game.
I
Sli-
loved Star
dude, Slippy is like the most annoying character in the world, but when he died, he goes Fox. I'm like, part of me just died a little
Yeah.
bit.
It's really like, yeah, I'm fine with Slippy.
No,
Slippy was a great
Slippy's
prop.
my dude. So you picked Star Fox, Derek. I'm gonna pick Super Mario 64. Actually, I'm torn now. I'm changing my
I think
answers.
a lot of guys would have. I think a lot of people would have picked GoldenEye because that's the go-to. But you know what?
I didn't play.
GoldenEye is very fun, but I wasn't as excited about that as Star Fox.
I'm-
'Cause I think Star Fox. for me
I
had
played
so
a
much
lot of
replay value.
GoldenEye.
Yeah,
a
I
lot
played-
of GoldenEye.
I'm
I'm just
I'm
not
gonna
good
pick
at video games.
Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening because I owned that game for Game Boy and it was rad, and I remember playing it in the car a lot. So what did you pick, Monica?
I picked Banjo-Kazooie actually because that
Banjo-Kazooie.
is definitely most hours racked on that game for sure.
That's a good
It's
game.
my
It's
favorite.
fun. All good games. Okay, the next one is if you get a Bop It Extreme, what do you do?
Oh my
Do you bop it? Do you pull it? Do you spin it? Do you flick it? Do you twist it? I'm more of a classic bop it kind of person.
Okay, and that's what I just answered.
More classic bop
Yeah.
it? Mm.
I still have a classic Bop It, and actually I made all of my friends, they're not my friends anymore, friends play competitive Bop It maybe a month
Competitive Bop It?
ago.
Maybe a
Yes.
month ago?
Like,
Oh,
we had
this
teams,
is-
and it was like you would go against one person, and you know how you pass it? You go,
Yeah.
that one. And you pass it, and whoever lost, then like the other team would get a point. It was the most intense, like I've ever seen 20 to 30-year-olds ever.
That's amazing.
Everyone, you had to be silent when you're playing because you got to hear the thing. And there's like 20 people in this room. Everyone is silent, and as soon as someone would lose, they just, "Wah!" oh my god! Like just lost it. It was amazing. Couldn't
Dude.
Now
stop it.
you guys should do that game, but everybody has to be on ecstasy.
We played it naked one time, like strip pop it.
You
That's
played
pretty
Strip
great.
Pop It?
Yeah.
I never. I
And
would.
my mom came home. We told her.
Pam.
We told her all the boys were gay. They weren't though.
Pam always keeps bumping them on Bop It. I'm gonna pick Twist It. I like twisting. Okay. Next question. I like twisting. You're shaking your head at me.
Stop.
What did you do at sleepovers as a kid? Explored outside, baked cookies, played Truth or Dare, watched 90s classics, tried out the Ouija board, or built a
Oh.
fort?
Oh, Fort.
Yeah, I think I was actually a fort guy or explored outside. I'm going to go with explored outside, though, if you're choosing fort, Monica. I want to have a different answer.
Okay.
Oh, this is so hard because
Big,
What did you
big,
do,
big
Derek?
fort
Tell us.
builder.
always made my friends, whenever we had a sleepover, I'd always bring horror movies over and we'd watch them
Oh.
after everybody went to bed.
Horror movies?
So I would say 90s classics.
Derek's going with...
but see, I was
Oh.
90s. I was in my 20s. What am I doing?
You having sleepovers?
I would say at sleepovers when I was a kid, I would do let's do explored outside.
Explored outside? All right. Derek's going for the same answer as me. Our childhoods were so alike.
I built forts all the time.
What's your biggest pet peeve? Slow walkers, stupidity, bad service, being non-committal, overusing like, or tardiness. I'm picking slow walkers
Slow walkers,
immediately.
dude. That's what I was just going
Immediately.
for.
Because that's what I picked last one, and it drives me fucking
drive
crazy.
me crazy. About the guy that like you're going to take a left into your car, and the guy who's walking across the street just decides to walk sideways across the street. Like he won't ever cross the street. He's still in the street. You're like, what are you doing?
Like the longest
Cross
way.
the
that you
goddamn street using the crosswalk.
Pick a side.
Why do you have to go side? I know you're not saving any time,
You're not saving, you're
and
just-
you're fucking my life up. You're destroying my life.
I
You're
am that
ruining
person
everything.
who like never says anything either. Like behind the person, I'm like trying to figure out which way I can get around them without talking to them
Oh,
at
yeah.
all. Like I don't want to say excuse me. I'm just trying to like sneak in between people, do a little thread the needle. You know.
Yeah, no, it drives me nuts on escalators. I can't take it. I can't. After working in a building for this long, it takes me. It drives me crazy. I can't handle it. Like also sit on the stay on the right if people are running past you. Don't talk to your friends on one line.
Oh, let's stand side by side on the.
Yeah, let's stay by side in a group of 4, so it's
Yeah.
like 2 and 2, and just sit it out. I'm like,
can't
you guys
get
are
on
killing
shut
me.
up
for 30
With our
seconds.
Jimmy Johns, we
Yeah.
just gotta do this with our Jimmy Johns. Okay, you just farted in public. Now what?
Right.
Blame it on someone. Ask if anyone smells anything. Make a joke about it. Admit it. Walk away immediately, or act like nothing happened.
Wait, could you hear it?
It
It doesn't say.
doesn't say. It doesn't give you the
Like,
option.
even if I farted in public and nobody heard it, I usually would make a joke.
You'd make a
it.
joke about
it. That would be me admitting it, but I'd usually make a joke about it.
Always makes a joke about it. I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, I went to admit it last time. I'm gonna say admit it. I don't think make a joke about it counts as me going, hey guys, I just farted and I laughed. That's not making a joke about it. That's
Not
just
really.
me telling
It's
everyone.
just
So I'm gonna
it's
say
just admitting
I'm
it.
gonna say I admit it, and my own joke is my fart. Monica, what did you choose?
I
Probably
walk away. To be honest.
Probably just walk away.
Yeah,
Next time,
I'm
Monica.
not-
next
I
time you
don't-
walk away from me, I'm gonna know you farted.
I like to pretend that I don't.
What
Nothing
is
happens inside of my body.
nothing happens inside of your body?
Nope.
That's a healthy outlook. What is your key to success?
This is a loaded question.
Yeah, my intelligence, my critical thinking skills. I work well with others. I'm fearless. My outgoing personality or my ability to think on my feet. I think I'm going to say my outgoing personality. If we all have to brag about ourselves for a second.
Oh God.
Sam.
Key to success. I'm gonna say I work well with others.
Work
'cause
well with others.
That's what I'm doing.
And that's
I've
what you
had
guys are
some
doing?
coworkers that I hated, but they never knew it. So
They never knew it.
till right
What was
now.
your go-to snack? Dunkaroos,
God.
Wonder Ball, Gushers, Go-Gurt, Warheads, Lunchables. I'm going
I
Lunchables
still eat
immediately. I do
Lunchables, to be
too.
honest.
Me too.
But I'm gonna say that I think about the way that I ate all the time, like as a kid. But I was so active, it didn't matter. I would eat probably 10 Gusher packages a night,
Oh yeah.
like all the
Dude,
time. I'm gonna go with Gushers because that was my favorite.
All right, and the last piece. What piece of modern technology did you need? What piece? And they have a Walkman, a Polaroid camera, a landline, but it's a wireless landline phone, a Tamagotchi or a Gigapet, depending on how poor you were, Game Boy, and then a Yak Bak Talk Toy machine from the Home Alone.
Walkman.
You pick Walkman?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Game Boy because that's what I loved.
I'm gonna go with the landline because that was the only thing that I had.
Okay, and my show changed. I got a different show. I got Wild and Crazy Kids.
Oh,
That's what I got.
That's what you got. I've never heard of this show. Do you know what Wild and Crazy Kids
Yeah,
is?
it was
Yeah.
new. Nickelodeon, but I don't remember. I think it was past my time.
I knew that.
What is the show, Monica?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, but Monica recognizes the
Just
name.
Read what it says.
It's the thing is, you know how to find 48 frisbees in a bowl of pudding. I'm guessing it's just one of those
it was,
crazy
so
shows.
they always had slip and slides for some reason. Like it was like a slip and slide, and then at the end you had to do something weird. It was cool. I got Double Dare.
Double Dare.
Yeah.
Nice. Double
Yeah.
Dare classic.
Yes, very similar though. Always in gross stuff, trying to catch stuff or whatever. I loved those games. It was the most ridiculous stuff. Here, you're in a giant bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Catch all these eggs as we throw
And
them.
and you can tell the spaghetti's definitely just styrofoam noodles, but you're still into it as a kid.
It was,
You're
I
100%
loved
in.
the like parent-kid combination. Like that was the best teams. Like, mom
best
and son. or
ever.
whatever.
Okay, well, now that we've done that one, I feel like we have time to do one more. So I think we should do what X-Men would you hook up with? Do you guys want to do that one, or do you want to
The
figure out what
one that
superhero
doesn't
you
the
have?
link?
Or is it the one that it's got a link on mine? Does it not have a link on yours?
X-Men or which one?
X-Men you should hook up with.
Okay. Let's do it.
Mine doesn't have a link.
Yours doesn't have a link? You can just copy paste the HTML. It's just messing up on there. But this is hook up with. This isn't like love or anything. This is
Oh, it's just a one-night stand.
this is just a
I love-
one-night stand.
I love everyone I've ever hooked up with.
You love everyone you ever hooked up with? Oh, that's a nice thing to say, Monica. Hey, if you've hooked up with Monica Nevi in the last, I don't know, her life, she loves you.
She was in love with you.
She was in love with you for a brief
And you
moment.
broke her fucking heart.
You broke her heart when you left that morning, you saucy, saucy son of a person. Son of a person? I'm trying not to swear as much.
I'm usually the one that leaves.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, then Monica loves you, but she had to go. All right. Which X-Man should you hook up with? Or X-Woman? Doesn't matter. So, the first question, are you guys not getting there? Is it taking a while? Is it all
I
messed
got
up?
mine. It's already up.
You got yours already up? You got yours, Monica? Monica's working on it. Okay. The first question, what always cheers you up? Sports, winning an argument, working out, being outdoors, money, or getting laid?
Money.
Oh, there's two more. There's three more.
Money
I
always
kind
gives
of
me,
like how you
Drinking,
money.
having things go my way, or making stuff.
Oh.
I might say making stuff.
Having things go my way makes me happy.
Right. That's
I'm going to say
important.
making stuff makes me happy.
Well, then I'm gonna say money.
You're going to say money? All right.
Money makes me happy because that means I can like go shopping or I can make food or I can do something.
You
that
could
makes
make
me
stuff
very
with
happy.
money.
Even when things are bad, money usually
Money, yeah.
fixes it.
I can go to Menchie's. Oh my god.
What's Menchie's? Tell us about
It's
it.
the
Frozen
greatest frozen
yogurt.
yogurt place in the world. It's the happiest place ever. I mean,
There's
Hug Life should be
so many
sponsored by
things.
Menchie's.
Is
to pick
it near here?
Yeah, there's one right down on Green Lake.
All right. Well, I think we figured out what I'm doing after the podcast. I don't know if you guys want to go with me, but I know what I'm doing. All right. Next question. What always bums you out? Feeling ugly, my body issues, dealing with reality, not knowing who I really am, not being able to let other people in, dark stuff from my past, intense feelings of guilt, worrying about losing control, people being foolish. I'm gonna say this is really intense. This is like
Right,
really,
this
this
is,
is really going
Just gonna
for it.
bang an X-Man. Let's fucking.
Yeah, I just wanted. This is
break
a
it down,
lot of
dog.
questions for banging an X-Man.
There's
You're
no
right.
talking involved.
I think I'm gonna say intense feelings of guilt. That always bums me out. Is this confession time?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't
I,
know.
weirdly what I chose.
Intense feelings of guilt. What do you want to talk about? Did you pick one, Monica?
Yeah.
What did you
Um,
pick? Dark stuff from
dark
your
stuff
past.
from my past.
Damn, she's brooding.
Oh, that guy I killed. It's always bumming me out.
All those guys you left that you loved the night before. What do you want to talk about? The old times, my weird past, nothing too deep, my problems, politics, your problems, just flirty stuff, juicy gossip, oh, whatevs. I'm going to say, oh, whatevs. Like, whatever. I think that means whatever, right?
Yeah.
That means whatever. Well, whatevs.
Juicy gossip.
Juicy
That always gets
gossip.
People talking.
That always gets you going, Derek. Gossip about Christian Bale.
I could talk. I could gossip about anything.
You can gossip about anything.
It's not shit talking. It's fun talking.
It is. No, there's something that really, it's like venting about it, though, that you have to do it.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah, it makes everyone feel better.
You have to get things off your chest.
For example, like 2 minutes before this podcast started. Okay, what look do you
Bingo.
what look do you always find sexy? Colorful hair, extreme masculinity, hourglass figure. I can't decide. That's sad. A punk rock vibe, big strong body, stubbly beard, hyper femininity, soulful eyes.
Big, strong body.
The big strong body.
Yeah. I don't like not extreme masculinity. That's a different type of personality. I feel like that goes with that. I just like a big, strong body.
When you say hourglass figure, is that like the thing where it's like boobs and butts like all being
Well,
big or something?
hips.
Yeah,
Hips?
Hips and chest.
Hips and
It's like
chest.
Mainly hips. What this means is that the hips are very wide, and then the upper body balloons out.
Right, so
Balloons
we-
out.
Not
You
even
got a lot of
boobs.
Your
side
breasts are
fat.
pushed
Yeah, they're
flat,
pushed.
and then they come out on the sides.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Sounds erotic.
It's pretty fucked up.
I'm gonna
So you pick
I'm
that
gonna
one? No.
choose soulful
That's
eyes.
what that shows.
Soulful eyes, because the only one that doesn't make me look like a complete gross person. All right.
Well, and all these are. I'm not looking for hyper femininity.
Yeah, that
Be
sounds
your
like.
own person.
Yeah.
Or extreme
I
masculinity.
just want a woman to agree with me all the time. Oh, whatever you want, I'll walk 10 feet behind you.
I bet you if you picked hyper femininity, it'll always be Jean Grey. Like that's just the
If this
default.
didn't say- if this didn't say big strong body, but big strong daddy, I'd be like, all right,
I'll pick big strong
I
daddy.
would still.
I want someone to
keep
hold
the
me.
same choice. That's all.
What quality do you find most sexy? Intensity, brash and impulsive, willing to take risks, sarcastic and witty, cockiness, artistic talent, complex and hard to predict, can fit in with any group, and rough and rowdy.
can fit in with any group.
Mm,
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick artistic talent.
I think someone who can fit in with any group is very much like a. They're not. They're very much go with the flow. There's no stress.
Yeah.
No
I
stress?
like
Assimilate
that.
in any setting.
And there's a lot of things going on. I got a lot of different groups of people.
So
I would
did
like
you-
to
is that what
bring
you
you
picked?
if we hooked up the night before? I'd like to bring you to meet my family immediately. So I would like to know that you would fit in.
Yeah, you heard me, guys. First here,
But
you
then
hook
after
up with
that,
Monica.
we're gonna go to a all-black roller skating rink. And I want you to be fucking cool with my friends. And then after that, we're probably gonna go to a Baptist church. And I need you to fucking chill out a little.
And then we're
bit,
gonna go
and
to
you can do
Neighbors
that.
and dance our asses off,
Yeah.
and then we're
So
gonna go
good.
get tacos. You better fit in with tacos.
What
What
yeah,
do you?
It was great until the tacos. It got weird. I don't know.
That's
I think
weird.
that's strange. What do you most want from a relationship? To explore my wild side, to feel understood, powerful lust, trust and intimacy, to explore our kinks together, extreme passion. I want to be
Be
dominated.
dominated.
Oh, jeez, dumb,
Jesus.
I
dumb,
want to
sexy,
be-
fun, and nothing too serious. I want to be dominated. Ugh.
I got trust and intimacy in there. Those are my. That's what I.
I'm gonna pick extreme passion. I think I'm leaning extreme passion.
That's
Because powerful lust is like, oh, fuck so bad. That's not. That's what lust
It's
is,
not.
right? Like, yeah. Is that what lust?
yeah, that's
Like
only physical
sex
type
only.
Of,
Yeah. I want passion.
That's,
I want someone to rub my face.
I want you to rub my face.
I want you to rub my face while you feed me ribs. Which X-Men does that? Is there any X-Men that does that? Guys, I'm into
Don't-
comic books, but
don't
I'm
think
I think I need to become a writer so I can just create that X-Men.
X-Men.
What would your ideal?
Everybody's just so distracted by that that
Have
they're
you
like, I
read
don't know.
Coletta's new book? He's the J.D. Solinger of boners. It's
The
amazing.
Janie Soldier boner. It's all about its guy that eat ribs. By day, he's known as Tony Romas, but at night,
Tony
he's the
Romas.
Scarlet Rib. What would your ideal partner be like in bed? Into sexy mind games, dominant. Into role playing.
Mind games.
Aren't you already role playing if you're kind of an X-Men? Really focused on pleasing me. That's selfish.
right.
Insatiable, ultra romantic, like a force of nature, submissive, like a wild animal.
Just going
This-
dominant. That's always been my favorite thing.
Dominant?
You like that?
I think.
Yeah, I like to be dominant. I don't like to. I'm like.
Right.
You
do
it,
anything?
Is what's I always associate insatiable with like food. Is that wrong?
They're well. I mean, their sexual appetite would be very forceful, unstoppable, never ending.
Oh,
You're
right.
Oh.
Okay, so
constant.
you would never be
Yeah, they're
satisfied.
just constant.
I feel like-
Basically, they would be always horny and.
That sounds terrible.
Always ready to get. That
Yes.
sounds really demanding and
Jersey
tiring.
Shore,
Horrible.
Jersey Shore girl, are just like, because her fucking dad always walked in when she was acting like she was asleep, and now he's like, I have to fuck the pain away. So never stop.
So
Never stop,
guys,
just gonna
that's what insatiable means. If you look it up in the dictionary, I gotta
Fuck
fuck the
the pain
pain
away.
away.
Fuck the pain away.
Fuck the pain away.
That is a song.
What else is in the teachers of peaches?
Oh, man.
I can't decide.
I love
I'm
that you know the lyrics.
I think I'm leaning ultra romantic. I just because I feel like that's the sweetest one on there. But really focused on pleasing me sounds selfish, but I would totally be happy about that. I don't know. Or like a force. I'm just gonna click. Actually, I'm gonna click like a force of nature just because I want to see what comes up. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I got Magneto.
You got Magneto?
Yeah.
Okay, moving from Monica to pick hers. What did you get?
Wolverine.
Nice,
yes,
little
that's what I was
Logan
hoping
action.
for.
I got Colossus, the
Wow.
Russian metal lover.
He's very romantic, though.
Hello, Mike.
Magneto's
I am here for you.
extraordinarily
Passionate and
intense
romantic.
charismatic, and clearly very passionate about a lot more than just mutant politics. But be careful. He's definitely going to break your heart.
I want to let you guys see this picture of Colossus because he's laying quite romantically
Sounds
waiting for me.
perfect.
Yeah, how does he get like
Oh yeah, Jesus.
The Colossus is in the nude in some bushes in the Savage Land because there's a dinosaur in the background, and he wants me. He wants me so hard, you guys.
Sounds very.
Erotic and nice.
Yeah, Wolverine is rough and a wild man's man. That's great. But he's also kind and has a sensitive soul.
Oh, see, that's okay. They're copying the same things. This says Colossus, the ultimate gentle giant, a big buff dude with a kind, sensitive soul.
Oh God.
Of an artist. Oh, he can get a little mopey, but you can have it with it takes it time. You might have what it
What the
takes to
fuck?
help
I don't know
him
what
chill
just
out.
happened there.
The sentence doesn't make sense. That's what
The
happened there.
end of this is perfect. He says he's the best there is at what he does, and what he does is ... probably triple X. What the
Oh
fuck?
snap! Best he does is having Monica fall in love with him for a
Yeah,
night and
this
then
quiz
leaving.
went fantastically.
Dude, I feel like this is the first time we've all got separate answers on our quizzes too, which
Yeah.
is pretty fucking awesome.
That is great.
That's rare. Okay,
That's
so this is the end of the podcast. This is
What?
it. Yeah, it's the end, man. We've done it.
We hugged it.
We
so
did it. It's
much.
we're almost
hugged
at
so
we're
much.
at an hour and 12 seconds. So
It is. Hold
I
on,
wanted
I got a
to-
charity.
we got charities coming from Monica, and if you can think of any charities that you know of that you wanted to support or anything, let us
Oh.
know. And then Monica will do her charities first, and that way you got time to think about them.
Okay.
We always do charities at the end because charities are nice.
Yeah, right, that's cool.
I love it. Yeah, it's a great idea. There's nothing more huggy about that.
There's nothing more huggy
Thank
about
you.
it except for all the swear words and the fisting we talked about earlier. But still, let's talk about
Yeah,
charities
being
now.
fisted by lightning.
Yeah.
Let's be very
That
clear.
is different.
Being ripped
Well,
apart.
we weren't doing the fisting. That's
Yeah.
it's different. Okay, so
God did
these
it.
two I found it sounds like something fun to do, but you're also supporting a good cause. So this Saturday on the 4th, Dance MS. It's a swing thing, swing music, an auction to raise funds for the MS Society, and that is at the Senior Center of West Seattle. That's not funny. Sorry.
Why are you laughing at old people dancing, Monica? That's
Yeah.
really rude.
Or you could go that same night to the Youngstown Cultural Arts Center for Red Light Revolution, and it's a benefit concert with a bunch of local artists, and it raises awareness for human trafficking.
Oh.
Oh.
I feel like human trafficking is a big problem in Seattle when you walk by all those storage crates, for sure.
Storage crates.
The ones like in the pier, like they have a lot of human trafficking stuff on
Jeez. Yeah,
in
that's
Seattle. It's terrible. Did you got a charity? Do you have anything?
I always say Home Alive is one that I like to support because it's good for women to not be fucking victimized by weirdos, and you should be able to walk home whenever the fuck you want. and
Yeah.
not have to worry
Yeah,
about
that's a
getting
great one.
harassed.
Great charity. Home Alive.
Home Alive. It's a local charity that was started after Mia Zapata was murdered, and I also the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Humane Society.
Yeah, perfect.
great
We
ones.
guys
Yeah,
gave
so good at
5
this.
charities.
right. You better
5.
fucking
Set a
find
new record.
figure one out here.
Pick a charity,
Hug
you guys.
bugs.
Be good. Hug bugs. Their names are hug bugs. We've decided that.
Which one do I have to? Do I have to pick one?
Pick one? No, you
What?
can. No, you
Oh,
you
good.
can do
No,
as
No,
many.
that's great.
All
yeah,
3
they
of
got
those charities.
every
Do as many as you
thing.
want. We just want to have charity awareness at the end of our thing because we think it's a nice way to end, and it's nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for having us.
Yay!
Hey,
What are
and
your
here with us?
charities?
What are my charities? My charities are ones that Monica looks up because I'm lazy.
It's like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
okay, yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah, I always have Monica do the charity portion because her mother is a fantastic person that works with a lot of charities
Yes,
and
she
is
does.
awesome. So
Pam Nevy's a saint.
Pam Davy is a saint.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Do I have any shows coming up?
Yeah.
I do, and I'm not ready, so you go first.
Okay, let's see. This Saturday, October 4th, I'm at the Macefield Music Festival, opening for John Keister at the Laugh Hole stage or whatever. That'll be
Nice.
fun. And then Sunday, I'm in Puyallup for Phil Fox's Going Away show.
Oh,
and then
dude.
Next Friday, the 10th, I'm hosting at Delancey's on 3rd in Renton. That's hometown for me, so you guys should come out and see that. It's the Real Housewives of Renton.
The Real Housewives of Renton.
Yes.
This is a little far out, but on October, it's 2 weeks away. On October 7th, I'll be doing a benefit show at Tacoma Comedy Club. You should definitely check that out. And the 9th, the 11th, I'm working at the Parlor in Bellevue, hosting for Rachel Feinstein.
She's
Feinstein?
amazing.
It's great.
Feinstein.
Feinstein? I said it right the first
Feinstein.
time. I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
She's-
Really.
I'm
She's
a little bummed out
hilarious.
because when you said this is kind of far out, I was hoping you'd say something like, "I'm playing the Blacklight Festival in my bedroom later,
Wow, Jacob, wow.
dropping some acid. This is far
I pressed
out."
that button and that disco button. Well, far out. That should have been a 90s saying, right?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was 60s, 70s saying.
60s, 70s saying?
Yeah,
See,
far out.
I just heard it in the 90s from a movie, and I'm like, it's a 90s thing because I'm
Maybe.
a child. Okay. Also, don't forget to go to the Laugh Riot on October 11th and see Veronica Heath headlining. It's Derek Sheen's show. Check that out. And then October 16th through 18th at Tacoma Comedy Club, see Derek Sheen featuring for Ron Funches. It's going to be a great time. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, Derek.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
You're
great.
great.
You
You're
are
great.
great.
You're
Monica.
great.
Thanks,
You're
man.
great.
Thanks,
You're
Monica.
great. You're great. You're great. You're great. You're great.